shout out to Boxing Bros UK. Cheers, bro. Thanks.
Co-host Andrew the Boxing Brain. We have a special guest of us, Seth from Last Stoner Boxing. Give us a shout out, Seth.
What's up, guys?
Yes. And the topic for the day is Caleb Plant versus Resendiz.
I think.
Resendiz, whatever his name was. Before we start, I'd like to just say I've always liked Caleb Plant. He's always entertaining in the presser. He'll stick one on you in the presser. He'll stick one on you in the public workout. He don't give a fuck. He's been through a lot. Mother died. Had a bad upbringing. He's come from nothing. Really, really good guy. And he had a good style, box mover, bit of showboating, good jab. But obviously, his comeback trail is and he lost. So, Seth, give your thoughts on the fight, man. I really like the guy. I'm sad that he's lost, to be fair.
Honestly, I'm the same. I was heartbroken because, like you said, all those things about Caleb Plant, I completely agree, completely second that. Caleb Plant, one of my favourite boxers to watch. Like I said, he's a boxer, puncher, he moves about. He's got a really distinct style that you don't see that very often in boxing now. That sort of distinct sort of dedication to the Philly shell, shoulder rolling style of fighting. Very jab heavy, a lot of setups, a lot of feints. I think they even said this as he was walking out, he's your favourite boxer's favourite boxer. I think that's a bit of a reach, but he's a really high IQ. He's a really high IQ boxer and someone who I really liked. And got a couple of really good wins in his career. When I was looking back on his resume, I was thinking he's not got that many huge wins. The Anthony Jarrell win is a really big win for him, but of course he fought Canelo and David Benavidez, lost to both of those guys. In my opinion, there's no shame in losing to those guys. Those guys are really big punchers from 168 and phenoms of that division.
Yeah, for sure.
Armando Resendiz, though, is not in the same caliber as Canelo and David Benavidez. So when I'm seeing this fight on paper, as someone who's never seen Resendiz fight before, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a pretty easy fight for Caleb Plant. He's going to walk through this guy and on to bigger and better things once again. But wasn't the case. Resendiz was able to take Caleb Plant's best shots and walk down Caleb Plant, apply the pressure, land his big shots as well, get off when he's in the pocket, and was beating Caleb Plant up, to be honest, beating him around the ring, rocking him. Don't think he dropped him, but was landing some serious shots that were really snapping Caleb Plant's head back, and overall was outboxing Caleb Plant, which was hard to see because not many guys can actually outbox Caleb Plant. We saw even against Canelo, he was having some success when it came to just the boxing. Of course, Caleb Plant and David Benavidez are a lot bigger punchers than Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant throughout his career hasn't really been known as a big puncher either. And maybe to his detriment, because when you're fighting a guy like Resendiz who's applying pressure and trying to walk you down, if you've got some power about you, you can sort of keep those guys at bay and push them back and apply pressure in your own way. But it didn't seem like Caleb Plant really had that power, and Resendiz walked through his punches and won the fight. And Resendiz is now, he won the WBA interim belt with that fight. So he's put himself right at the top of the division, and he's probably next in line for one of the big fights, potentially at super middleweight, despite, like we talked about in the previous video regarding the 12 rounders, this was Resendiz's first 12 rounder. So important to remember that, and that might play a factor when he's now fighting the guys that are truly at the top at 168. Guys that have been fighting 12 rounders for the past 5, 6, 7 years at this point. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the fight. Like I said, heartbroken that Caleb Plant didn't win, but it's boxing. Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose.
Yeah. What did you make?
Great roundup. Great breakdown there, Seth. Cheers for that. Brilliant.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
What did you make of it, Andrew? The fight?
Yeah. Some little bits to add there. It was really good sort of breakdown from Seth there. I think it was, wasn't he? Definitely. He was coming up from 160 as well, wasn't he? He was going up. I think he was coming up to 168 as well, I believe.
He may have been. Honestly, he didn't look big for 168.
No, and I was a bit flabbergasted actually the way he was kind of bullying Caleb Plant, and Caleb Plant was a massive favourite in there. I think because they had Charlo on the same bill, and I think it was another one of those disasters where they're hoping for the Charlo fight. It seems that they need to stop doing this stuff. It's like it's cursing the fights that are going to happen. And
you know what? I'll challenge you on that. I don't mind these when they come off. It's great, but I don't mind these types of fights because we've now sort of in a different situation in boxing now, where Resendiz is coming off the win. Now he's potentially going to go on to become a boxer. Also, when Tyson Fury came back, Tyson Fury didn't come back and fight Deontay Wilder straight away. He had some tune-ups, and then we got to the Wilder fight, and we saw a much better Tyson who had already boxed, 20 rounds by that point.
No, it's a fair point. It's just boxing for him. I mean, what it looked like to me, Caleb Plant, I don't want to use that. I like, because you get a lot of hyperbole around us kind of social media stuff. And me and Chris try to sort of, you know, kind of strike that balance. And you sort of, Caleb Plant, he's washed up, he's finished. Sometimes it's just a case of, I don't know what his motivation was going in there. He looked very flat to me. Resendiz looked like it was his World Cup final. And sometimes you get that clash of one guy's super, super hungry, like we saw with Dubois AJ. One guy's super hungry. The other guy maybe thinks it's a foregone conclusion. And he was just catching hooks all night, kept leaving his left hand out a lot, which I know is his kind of style. But, you know, lost a lot of pop in his shots kind of second half of the fight. And Resendiz was just, I don't want to say shades of Canelo, because that's a bit maybe, you know, a bit ridiculous, but he was just tight guard, closing off the ring, pressure, and just sticking it on him, and just seemed to batter him. I don't know what one of the scorecards was a bit iffy. Looked to me like there was a bit of a dodginess going on there. Yeah. And I think Plant was sort of saving face a bit, saying, I think it was a close fight. I mean, me and Chris were saying off air, I probably gave Plant 3 rounds, 4 if I'm being. It was a 9-3-8-4 sort of fight. I like Caleb Plant. I love what he's I love he's articulate, he's interesting, intelligent. You know, he's got some speed about him in the ring, but I don't. The inside work as well. Like, he was getting bullied on the inside, trying to clinch. Nothing was working, was it? I sort of felt for him in there, boys, because nothing seemed to be working, and he weren't throwing the right hand either. Apparently, he said his right hand was hurting, boys, but he just was not throwing that backhand, and nothing seemed to work all night, did it? Not his night.
No, I think, I don't know, he just, for the first 2 rounds, I thought, wow, yeah, he's looking really good.
Yeah.
Jabbing to the body, jabbing to the head.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, he just stopped. He stopped.
Yeah.
Like, he was leaving it out there and doing that. Instead of jabbing, he was fencing instead of jabbing to the body, jabbing to the head, feinting, throwing that. He wasn't doing what he normally does, moving around. I feel like it's, I don't know, his legs, maybe, how old is he now? He's got to be early 30s.
33, is he, boys? That he's
something like that, yeah.
Maybe he did, because his legs weren't moving like they normally do. So, because normally, like Seth said, against Canelo, he was boxing Canelo for a bit. Like, he's got good footwork. And the footwork, it was just terrible. It wasn't there. So, and where he was just leaving it out instead of shooting it, that he just wasn't fighting like Caleb Plant. So it could be a bad day at the office, and his style, he doesn't really take. He's not really been in that many wars apart from Canelo, where he got stopped, and Benavidez as well, where he took some licks in that fight, because Benavidez, he's just a tank. He just rolls over everyone. Like, like, he hasn't even, his style's the worst, because he just goes like this.
Maybe those 2 fight
you and fucking rolls over everybody. But that's why it's exciting to watch. And I think maybe give him one more chance, I'd say, to have a comeback fight against someone. But Resendiz, I'd like to see him fight Canelo rather than Eubank Jr. Apparently, because if Canelo beats Crawford, Eubank Jr. is what he's fighting next. I'd rather see him fight this Resendiz guy, because I think it'd be more competitive.
Well, at least Resendiz would have a go. At least he would have a go. The last 6 opponents for Canelo haven't even bothered trying. So at least I think the last person that tried was probably bloody Caleb Plant, to be fair. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. That was the one thing because I know, Seth, you box a little bit, don't you? Yeah. You're sort of looking to maybe. And one thing I was thinking, and perhaps you can help me on this. I mean, I know, like, I don't care how many kind of front raises you're doing, and so, you know, getting those shoulders nice and conditioned and strong. But with this kind of leaving the lead hand out, right? I mean, Usyk tends to kind of drop it and move it around a bit. I noticed Caleb Plant was leaving his lead hand out a lot. Surely that's going to burn a lot of your shoulder and take a lot of the pop out your jab, Seth, in it? Or am I reading too much into it?
No, I think you're exactly right. I think he's leaving it out there to probably try and control the head of Resendiz, where Resendiz is walking forward. He's maybe trying to control that movement a bit. But like I said, you're doing that for 12 rounds. There's no way you're going to be able to keep your popping your shot the same way you are in round 1, come round 8, round 9. You're just not. I don't care who you are, right? And like you said, it really looked like all of that stuff there, holding the hand out and that stuff really changed the way Caleb Plant had to fight that fight. Because normally you see Caleb Plant, he's shooting double jabs, jab to the head, jab to the body, fainting. He's trying to. He's really good at applying pressure without throwing punches, which is really hard to do. And we only see really world level guys do it, which is why I have Caleb Plant such a high estimate of him. But yeah, it really changed the way he had to box. And like you guys said, he just didn't box like Caleb Plant there. He did show, excuse me, he did show shades where he was almost, he did, in my mind, demonstrate his boxing IQ in some ways where he was trying different stuff. Like you said, you felt a bit sorry for them because it's not like he had one game plan and he was going to, live or die by it. He did try and work inside and clinch and stuff that's not necessarily typically in his nature, but he realized he's in a real fight here. He's got to try and show some different looks and change it up. But ultimately it didn't work, unfortunately, for Caleb Plant. But yeah, all of those things, they all play a part. It's hard to, you can't always blame it on and pinpoint it on one exact thing they did. It's normally an accumulation of multiple mistakes, leaving multiple openings and then getting tired and then putting yourself in a bad position and not working out of it. And then, the snowball rolls down.
On the inside, I found, he was like, sometimes he'd work on the inside and then he was holding, but Resendiz had an arm free and he was like, uppercut.
Well working.
It's like, get hold of that fucking arm, what are you doing? Like, why are you letting him? Because the referee lets you carry on working and he was just like, he just put his head on his shoulder. It's like he was having a sleep. Like he's like, I'm just gonna rest here. And then that Resendiz, okay, I've got one arm, bang, bang, bang. And then he try and grab it, and it just like you say, he just wasn't doing anything. He's making adjustments, but where he's not used to it, didn't know what to expect. Because sometimes he wouldn't hit and hold, and sometimes he would. Caleb Plant was always taking that gamble. I'll have a rest because maybe he's not going to hit me this time, and we can both. I need rest, and then another time, Resendiz would take advantage and be hitting him with uppercuts, body shots.
Yeah. But that's where we're giving him credit, though, boys, because that's why I think we're all in unison here. None of us really disagreeing, but maybe one of us needs to play devil's advocate. Fucking Plant, listen, it sometimes, and we're all lovers of sport. I watch all sport. Chris watches a lot of sport, and I'm sure you do, Stefan. Sometimes you can have the best camps, and sometimes, to me, it looked like mentally, he was a bit flat. The legs didn't look underneath him. Obviously, the jab we were talking about, and Seth confirmed it kind of as a fighter, burning his shoulder out. He weren't throwing the backhand, so that wasn't working. Then he tried to clinch, and he thought maybe I can close it. That weren't working. Was eating left hooks, getting more and more tired, stamina being dry. I mean, it was just a disastrous night. Sometimes it's no fault of his own. It's just one of those bad days at the office, and we all have them, don't we? It's one of them.
That's all we can do. I know you've got to get on the score run, Seth.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll let you go. Thanks for having you on. It's been a pleasure.
Been brilliant, mate.
Again sometime as well.
Definitely. I'd love to come back on. Thanks for having me, guys. I really enjoyed it. Let's get something else booked in. I'd love to be back on with you guys. It's great to chat boxing. Like I said, it's a sport we all love and watch tons of. So, yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on. And check out the Lonely Stoner podcast as well. They're always chatting on all different.
We'll leave a link in the description. Check him out. Check those boys out.
We'll be in there. All right. Like and subscribe, everybody. Like and subscribe.
Share the vid.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, boys.